What up, everybody? This is Jason. That is a sunset in Panama Beach, Panama City Beach, whatever you want to call it. This place is fucking beautiful. It's a great place to be. This video today, I just wanted to show you that real quick because that is how I'm living. I wanted to make a video today, a quick video today about George W. Bush painting veterans. Injured, limbless, destroyed veterans. One critic called it a Forrest Gump-like pictures of these veterans who have had their legs blown off, their arms, just from Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, of course, we all know that George W. Bush is a fucking war criminal. He should be in jail. He should have been in the Hague. He should be hung. He should be dead right now. He should have been publicly executed. What did Curtis LeMay say about World War II? If we had lost World War II, we would have been the war criminals. We would have been tried as war criminals. George W. Bush has gotten away with this because the media has absolutely no soul. And this is why the media is not trusted. This is why nobody likes the media. Everybody hates them. They hate every part of the media because the media has no honesty at all, even when it concerns something like war criminals. And I know they're American media, but even so-called independent, no, that's not fair. Some of the independent media has called them out, but I'm stunned that George W. Bush has gotten away with this or is allowed to get away with this. But again, I'm not, because we live in post modern surrealist America, where Donald Trump is president and he can say that that the former president is actually wiretapping him based on a Mark Levine report that he cobbled together from three other reports, and it's kind of murky where it all came from, where the source of it is from. This goes into the complete lack of holding anyone, I've made videos about this before, holding anyone accountable in this country for fucking anything. 9/11. 9/11 was never investigated. So you have an endless fake ass bullshit war on terrorism. You have a fake war that can never end. You can identify anybody you want as a terrorist anywhere in the world, so be it, and the military can justify going to war with them. Drone strikes in Pakistan. Well, we're getting terrorists out. Yemen. Well, we're getting terrorists. It's completely fucking ridiculous, of course, and we all know what it's really for: strategic, global positioning, natural resources, etc. You think we'd be in that part of the world if there's no oil? So, George W. Bush gets to paint these awful, terrible, and there's like 98 men and women that he is calls them portraits of courage. And it's his own way, probably psychologically, of justifying. I would say that it was his own way of justifying psychologically what he did, sending people to war illegally, on a basis of a lie, which was 9/11. But I don't know if he's that self-aware. I don't know if he even thinks that. So what he's doing is deplorable. This guy, we know for a fact Iraq was illegal. They didn't have weapons of mass destruction. There was no connection to Al-Qaeda in 9/11, and they were not trying to get yellow cake uranium from Niger. Those were the three lies that got us into war in Iraq, and they all have been shown to be 100% false. That's not fucking, that's New York fucking Times. So, I hate to sound like Alex Jones, but that's New York Times. That's mainstream. That's New York Times. That's CNN. That's the LA Times. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but that's the truth. And so, when I have to watch this clod, and of course he came out and said, and he wants to be he looks so much better than Trump, and even Obama made him look like a good president, or made him look, the next president always makes the last president look better, because inevitably the president that comes after is worse. And so Trump makes Bush look measured and thoughtful. And this asshole comes out and is, we need the media, we need the media. They keep us honest, We need the media. They keep it, power's addictive, okay? And we need the media to hold us, people like me, accountable. When he was president, he was the ultimate anti-media fucking president. He used to talk about how the media spins stuff. Go look back at George Bush's greatest hits. Just type in George Bush comments, and you'll find all the stuff he said about the media, and you can watch him say it in the video. The media likes to, I got to get through the media filter. That's how Republicans treat everything, because when the media doesn't agree with them or tries to tell you the truth about what's going on, it's the media filter. It's the media lying. It's not them lying and the media pointing out the truth. And that's what's led to Breitbart and online news, Newsmax, Alex Jones, the Drudge Report, many, many, many others of these sources who create essentially fake news. Or they take news stories and then they embellish them to such a ridiculous degree that people then take them as serious. And then you take, and by the way, this is the media's fault too, because nobody trusts the fucking media. The media were such liars about everything. They were such little supporters, and then a year after the story would come out, the media would finally report on how these were lies, or how these were not truths, or they were misrepresentations, or, omissions, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And now George W. Bush gets to come out and paint the soldiers that he sent over there that came back wounded and injured. He gets to paint them. He gets to act as though, and it's not, I'm sorry I sent you all to, come back with no limbs and arms. I'm sorry I misled the country. No. This is, and the media is just like, oh, look, it's George. Oh, look at George Bush's art talent. Oh, isn't this, oh, nice. It's quaint. Good for the president. At least he's got something to do. Oh, maybe this is a form of that. I'm stunned at the idiocy of the media not reporting this. I would like somebody, maybe Jake Tapper will get his balls, grab his balls when he's not talking about Donald Trump, because when he talks about Donald Trump, Jake Tapper will attack because it's easy. But how about you go after George Bush? Because Iraq was a lie. We know Colin Powell lied to the UN. We know Condoleezza Rice lied. We know George Bush lied. We know Dick Cheney lied. We know Rumsfeld lied. We know it. It's been proven. There's something going on right now which I was not a big fan of, but now I'm starting to become a fan of, called the People's Tribunal of the Iraq War. It's being done by Code Pink. Check it out online if you're interested. They take testimony from politicians, from intelligence agents, from media people who kind of point out the obvious facts of the Iraq War. Now, I know people are like, fuck, Jason, why can't we just progress? Why can't we just go forward? MoveOn.org. Well, we moved on.org, didn't we? And see what happens when you move on.org? See what happens when you don't hold people accountable? You just get the same shit over and over again until you get to a fascist, totalitarian state, which is what we're heading towards. The decay of empire, the end of the run, whatever you want to call it. But that's where we are. So, having to sit through George W. Bush talk about portraits of courage and his exhibit and people fawning, and the powerful elite, it makes me fucking sick. Because this is the guy, it would be like Charles Manson painting pictures of, what's-her-face, Tate. It would be like Pol Pot deciding to do a wonderful Cambodian landscape of painting all the people in Cambodia who, Khmer Rouge. It would be, and I can give 100 analogies here, but the point is, this is post-surreal, this is postmodern surreal America. We're all so fucked, and the media is so fucking, and this is why people don't trust the media. People don't trust the media, they don't trust the CIA, they don't trust politicians, they don't trust the president, they don't trust their representatives, they don't trust anyone. How do you have a democracy like that? How do you have a government like that? How do you have an empire especially like that? And George Bush is the reason, is just a product of this. Guy sends people to war to die on a lie, gets to come home and paint them, and then gets patted on the back for doing it. Fucking sadist. I don't even know what word to use. It's surreal. It's postmodern surrealism. Thank you for listening. I just wanted to comment on this because I'm so fucking outraged by it that it makes me, I've been reading these articles and it's like he's oblivious. The guy says he's oblivious murderer. He's an oblivious murderer. He's a serial killer who's painting his victims. Thank you for listening.